Introverts of Reddit, what social interaction makes your battery down to 0% immediately? Backquote, hey let's get a drink, you and me. Backquote, sure. At the pub. Backquote, oh, when I said just you and me, I actually meant you, me and my friend from uni, that you don't know, but with whom I go way back, and will talk to all night while ignoring you. Unexpected people at a gathering, or many people coming and going. My in-laws seem to always have lots of random people living with them, and you truly never know who's going to be at their house, until you walk in the door. I can't prepare myself if I don't know how many / which people I can expect to see. My mum also tends to bring random people with her when invited over. Well, they were at the house when we left, and they wanted to come too. I hate having unexpected strangers in my house. It instantly takes away the feeling of it being my safe zone. Probably not surprising that I don't invite my in-laws over very often, and it's extremely rare that I go to their house. Fast talking 13-year-old girl across the street sees me out front and comes over with yet another little bracelet she has made for me. I don't hear well. In addition to being an introvert, and her chirpy little voice is incomprehensible. I don't want to be rude to her and would not hurt her feelings for anything in the world, but don't want to be her grandma, so it's very stressful. One-on-one interaction, where I'm sort of in charge. Anytime I'm leading around a new hire or intern at work and need to take them around all day, take them to lunch, etc. Exhausting. Being on point and being responsible for another person's experience of their day is just so much pressure. Going to places and then more people being there than I expected. Just a couple days ago I had plans for me and 2 friends to just chill at my house, and somehow I got roped into going somewhere else with 5 or 6 people. I spend most of the time hanging back on my phone. Battery is running low, so I try to leave in order to recharge and get some room to breathe, but then people insist that I stay or make a comment about how I'm such an introvert because I'm always leaving for my room. Instantly kills whatever intention I had of coming back. It's irritating being called out like that. Listening to someone boast. Being on the receiving end of an extrovert monologuing in a social situation where I need to play along / be friendly and engaged for whatever reason. So why are you so quiet? Being taken to a club / party where I know no one. I work and it often includes staying in a remote city for 2 to 3 days, doing full work days at customer's facility, then coming back home. My survival technique are hotels. I find them calming as they are like airports. You've seen one, you've seen most of them. I get sent to a remote facility, but the customer's liaison guy invites me to their home. Instead I politely decline and try all the excuses in the book, but he's not taking no for an answer. Eventually he starts to get insulted, and my boss tells we kinda need this deal, and asks me to go. After the flight I get picked up, and we do a full day at the facility. Then we go to the guy's house. They have 2 children, who are hyper, and think I'm there to play with them. I try my best to show happy face, but internally my battery has already dry for a long time. Finally the kids go somewhere, and I think I have some time off, but now the guy offers me a beer. Okay, I tell him I've been trying to distance myself from alcohol, but he still drinks couple beers, and becomes annoyingly talkative. At this point I'm screaming internally. It's at around 21, and I see this as a good time to go. It's been a long day. I think I'll go check my mail and stuff, and go to sleep, and head upstairs, which has my room. I hear them talking. The wife is telling the guy that I might see them as bad hosts if he leaves me alone. The husband, however, wants to drink more beer, so the wife comes up. To my horror, I have absolutely nothing in common with her. She starts talking about their kids and goes on for over half an hour of oversharing details about their life, while my brain has already frozen from the whole situation. Finally I get to sleep, and I get woken up over an hour before my time, as apparently the family has super long breakfast where they just slowly eat and chat about stuff. I have zero energy left from previous day and just stare into the void while the whole family watches a stupid cartoon and they deeply analyze what's going on in it. I was supposed to have 2 to 3 more days of this, but I call my boss when I get a break and tell him I can't take this anymore. He now realizes I'm not joking and arranges an emergency job for the next day. So after the second day is done, we agree that the finishing touches will be done remotely now that the hardware is installed. And after the day I finally head back to the airport. My host is noticeably upset, and on the way to the airport he tells me he had their relatives coming tonight, and he had hoped we could have done something together. TL. Doctor, to answer the ops question, my internal social interaction battery shorts and dies if I don't get a hotel for multi-day on-site jobs. Helpful advice that is really just a bunch of judgments of your life choices in disguise. Also, any conversation where someone starts suggesting an essential oil blend will solve all my problems. It would have taken less effort to just say all interactions with my mother-in-law. Corporate functions. I'm on the spectrum, but I've learned how to bullshit my way through over the years. I manage several teams and honestly they don't need much managing. They're awesome at what they do, so I'll let them run pretty much autonomously. I clear roadblocks, which I do quite effectively because I have the time to formulate, write, edit, rewrite etc. emails before they get sent. But in live group functions, it takes so much effort to be on the spot. It's just so draining. Mandatory team building exercises at work. I have nothing against my co-workers. They are nice people and I like them enough to make chit chat with them. I do not like them enough to do some stupid team building activity that just wastes time and is nowhere near as fun as the organizer wants it to be. Screaming kids / babies. Happy / playing is okay. Screaming adults, people who play loud music in public, large gatherings of people, like in cities and stuff. Full buses and subways, people who try to interact with me. Every thought I wear headphones if it is not important. Anyone yelling at me, I just black out and have no idea what I said. Family gatherings, I start blabbering but have no idea what I said. And then I feel so tired afterwards, like I've done heavy labor. Edit. Being a +1 to my BF. I have a serious face and everyone keeps asking what's wrong. So I have to smile a lot, so they leave me alone. For me right now it's mostly talking to someone I don't know. That well one-on-one. I don't like small talk. I prefer deep discussions of things, and if don't know the person it's hard to find a topic to go into a deep discussion about. That's why I prefer to have a few people to talk to at a time, so they can talk about whatever they wanna talk about, and I can just add something when I have something to add instead of having to constantly think about what I have to say next. Mediating family arguments. Did it just yesterday. My battery right now is at 0% and I have a date tonight. Open bracket. I can't cancel it because 1. We've already bought the tickets to a small local concert. 2. It's our second date. 3. So far she's the nicest girl I've met since my last relationship. So I really don't wanna mess things up. When seemingly benign topics of conversation set people off into outraged rants about how everything is a conspiracy or how everyone is out to screw them over. And every time you either disagree with them or try to clarify your point, they double down and catastrophize even more. I mean, fuck me for making small talk. Do you have a girlfriend yet? No, just no. Is it really that hard for people to understand some of us just can't attract anyone? Take your platitudes into the deepest recesses of your rectal cavities. There's a beautiful thing called natural evolution and some people just die alone. That's it. Ikey, especially with someone who just wants to meander idly around. I don't even know why, but I get about half an hour into an Ikey trip and I get flashes back to a childhood spent largely being dragged by my parents around that blue and yellow Swedish hellscape. Ikey is my personal hell. Here we go. Hair salon. I have long hair, so I'm there from 1 to 3 hours depending on the service I'm having done. I force myself to talk to my hairstylist so he/she doesn't get bored. Social gatherings with co-workers. I work for the state in different offices, so I know a lot of people, and even though I'm usually quiet, everyone wants to talk to me/be my friend. I do my best one-on-one with people, and like to talk about something meaningful instead of chit-chat. Grocery shopping. For whatever reason, that's the bane of my existence. I hate feeling Like I'm holding up the line, feeling like people judge me for every purchase I make, then looking awkward bagging the groceries and taking them home. I legitimately almost only go grocery shopping when it's dark and raining so that nobody is there, and I've gone days without eating anything because I was too anxious of going. Question mark? Also, hair salon where for some reason people always expect me to talk to them, and the conversation always ends up at what do you do? Oh, you study philosophy? Can you even find a job in that field? Lol, you gonna be poor. People who start conversations with the sole intent of saying what's in their head at the time and nothing else. Conversations usually imply some level of listening. When someone starts talking to me about some dumb shit they saw on the news and then try to get me to agree with them instead of actually talking about it, I lose all hope for humanity. I just end up smiling and nodding waiting for it to be over.